Guys, I would just like to say we've officially turned on the stream.
Good.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to start playing right this second, seeing as how Yip is yet to arrive.
Yeah.
Actually, do I have it on the iPad? I do. Well, never mind.
I'm ready to take notes because you guys always make fun of me for taking them.
I have a note taker this time. Mostly because I took notes on my character, even though I literally just rewrote the entire thing onto my note card or my thing. Even though
The only thing I have notes on are the names because they're really complicated, and I was like, "There's
Whoa!
no fucking way I'm gonna remember them."
We just got a brand new follower, Hayden Fan.
Hi.
I'm a fan.
Hi, Hayden
Hi,
Fan.
Hayden fan.
Hi.
Oh,
Me, literally.
oh,
right here.
Troy!
Hello, fam.
What's up?
Hello.
What's
Oh.
good?
Everyone says it wrong.
Yeah!
Hey.
Away.
There we go. Okay, I see that we're live.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are indeed live, but we're
Thought
still
we were
waiting on.
live.
But we're still waiting on Yip to get here.
Yep. Yep, we are waiting for you.
So how about them Bears?
Troy in the peanut gallery.
I mean, yeah, I'm in the peanut gallery.
We gotta worry about bears and hornets now? God.
Oh God, help us all.
And spiders.
Forest
This is in honor of last episode.
and dinosaurs.
Anybody see that Simpsons clip I posted in the chat after the campaign, where it's like Homer who's trying to clean out the he's trying to clean out the garage and just he gets attacked by spiders.
I
You know?
don't
God, I don't know.
that.
It's really funny because like he suffocates and they resuscitate him and he's just like, oh, spider! It's pretty funny. So
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, there's my cat. My cat.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Oh, that's me.
Was it the
That's
TikTok thing?
Oh, I did see.
I think it was the TikTok thing.
what TikTok thing?
oh yeah, there was a TikTok thing I posted too, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought it was.
It's somebody I follow on TikTok. She posted something D&D related.
I
so
saw
thought
that
it
one. That was really funny. All
Yeah.
I see is all my cute owls.
Oh.
Owl
I
bear.
feel attacked by the.
Oh no, I found it.
I'm an owl bear.
How about them owl bears?
How about that arrow bear? Oh, so I was playing last night in my Pathfinder game, and we almost had the exact same thing happen. Of God, I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on?
God bear.
No, it's chaotic, so it's bad.
Oh, okay. It was so cute.
So, but everything is crystal in that like campaign, and it's like I'm.
And the campaign me and Evan were in this morning, the party finally got into our first fight. And it went off the rails in like 5 seconds.
Apparently, we got a guest character, and I didn't trust their motives, and they decided to get impatient and start a fight with who we thought was a dragon, but turned out to be a very old sorcerer. So, in an act of revenge for starting a fight that did not need to be started, I punched the guest character in the face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I took the necklace that we were trying to take from the sorcerer from her. I failed epically, and then she left us all stranded in the cave with no way out.
Yeah, what happened in the campaign? No.
Shit.
I love it.
Why are you not charging? I need you to stay alive, please.
Oh, that happened to me yesterday.
Live, damn it.
What?
Is that it?
Why does it say? Oh my God, there we go. It kept making the noise that it was charging, but it didn't tell me that it was charging. I hate computers. Yep.
So I
Yeah.
have you guys technically the laptop hooked up to my giant TV.
Oh, very nice.
Cause blind.
We're gonna do.
If we can like wrap this up by midnight your time, Evan, that would be great.
Oh, I plan to wrap this up by 10:30 at the latest.
Okay, all right.
because
Yeah,
because I also have a life outside of D&D.
and you probably don't have that much planned right now anyway, right?
Yeah, this I'll just come out and say it. This session is gonna be just a lot of dialogue having that you guys are gonna have to tiptoe around. So
This is the
There's-
filler arc.
there's not no, this is not filler. There's no fighting, but it's no less dangerous.
Okay.
But hey, it now looks like we finally
Are there
have.
puzzles? Can I solve some puzzles?
If
Can I
we-
solve the puzzle?
Also, you guys may not see it, but I am wearing pajama pants. An old work shirt. I no longer work here.
I'd like
I
to
like
solve the
how-
puzzle, Alex. Worn pieces of china.
Oh, I hate this so much. All right, well, now that we're all here, give me 1 second.
Okay.
you couldn't have waited until before.
Okay, fine. I'll wait.
That was
I would
so
like
bad.
to say that at this place, I used to work at this place, and funny thing is, I quit literally right before this whole Corona thing went down.
Perfect timing.
Literally, my last day was the last day of school that I had before school closed. Was
Are you
like,
eating a churro?
no,
A breadstick.
Yeah, it looks like a
Oh,
puzzle.
a
I have
churro.
two
I
bags of
was
bread right
about to say, I'm really jealous of you right now.
It's funny because I got a job because of the coronavirus.
Oh.
I had an interview on Tuesday.
Nice.
I have dice.
It's a mood. All right, Evan, do I have your permission to do the thing?
Yes, now do the thing.
Now
I'm
you
still, I'm still
Okay,
listening.
so for
I have
this-
headphones on. I'm just getting cookies.
Yeah, so for the people watching, it's my birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy
Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kiara Eden. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Light candles on me, wish.
birthday.
Yeah!
Hey! Oh my god, you breathe through the streams.
don't you know? It's all just code. It's a simulation.
Oh, stop.
And because it's your
Across the stream.
birthday,
Also, I would like to
you are
say,
able to transcend code
please
space.
wish
I may or may not have made this specifically for this moment.
Yeah.
I would like, hang on, Evan. I would like to say, please wish your moms or mother figures a happy Mother's Day, please.
Already did.
Absolutely.
I
My
have.
mother figure that happens to be my mother.
Yeah, so please do that.
As a mother figure to several people. I can't speak.
Nice.
We do appreciate it.
I'm known as the convention mom. Every time we go to conventions, I'm like the one that like keeps it in check.
Yeah, so, like,
Trey looks at me like, yeah,
Every group has to have one.
yeah.
Of course, of course.
All right. So, are we all ready?
Yes.
Yeah,
Izzy, where'd you go?
I'm still here. I just went to get cookies.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's a mood.
All right.
I have my Bluetooth headphones on today.
All right, so then I will get started with the intro here. And for some reason, the record function of my Streamlabs is still not working.
Nice.
Okay, then. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be just something I'll have to download from Twitch. So, hey everyone, welcome back to Twitch. Welcome to episode 3 of the Song of the Wilds. This is already kind of a special stream because not only is it Mother's Day, it is also our teammate Kiara's birthday today. And
As
As
we
you-
know, because we just sang her happy birthday.
well, for the people that are just now watching.
Okay, sorry.
You know, like that are at least I know 3 of the viewers are us.
Well, I know one of them is my boyfriend, who's probably gonna text me throughout the campaign.
Aww.
It's adorable.
And one of them's technically me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure appropriately my mom is going to show up in the stream soon. So I'm sure Hemington is going to be here.
Ah, yeah,
So-
Hemington. All right,
Wow.
so then, So yeah, today's a very special stream because we're celebrating a birthday. And now it is time to begin. So, where we last left off, our team ventured into a mission deep into the jungle where they found an ancient and hidden What the heck happened to my music? Hold on.
It started so epic.
Trying this again.
This time too.
Where we last left off, our team finally found the entrance of a cave where apparently they were sent to find any signs of past scouts that had been sent before to figure out just what the heck is going on in this jungle. There, they ventured into the ruins, which actually seemed more man-made than natural. They ran into a whole bunch of spiders, some big, some small. However, after a glorious fight where our teammate Eden absolutely shish-kebabbed a spider's brains with a single arrow in a glorious way, Yip was able to actually venture in further and just find out what was so mystical about this cave, where he found a green orb. Upon touching... Hey! Oh, that's adorable. Upon coming into contact with this orb, he actually found out that it houses not just any spirit, but an actual divine god. It is divine, it is immortal, it is omnipotent, it is all those omnis, and it's also a baby. So, the team, having now acquired the orb, they returned to the camp with some debate about whether they should add the orb to their report or not. Their team leader, Tarek, who has been waiting for them all the time since he sent them out, was able to meet them at the camp entrance. And that is where we leave off.
My inner speedrunner I have to fight my inner speedrunner to not just shout orb every time we speak about the orb.
Not only is it baby, it's also a fucking bitch.
So, with that said, Tarek meets you all at the gates, and as he said last season, or episode, yeah, we've been playing a lot, you all missed everything. He meets you all at the camp entrance, and he just kind of puts his hands on his hips and looks at all of you with like a nod of both shock and appreciation, and all he just says is, "Oh, I can't wait to hear this report."
Wants to go first.
I just stand kind of waiting for one of you to talk because I don't have to do this, so I'm not doing it.
Are we just gonna do the report in the middle of the street, or is there like a room we have to go to, or?
And Tarek just kind of looks at Yip, and he's just like, "Ah, yeah, good point. You guys, sorry, it's just been such a while since we've had a mission actually be a success. So you guys are actually going to be pretty high tier right now. Follow me."
We thought you were gonna die. I mean, come on in.
And he takes you all into the main meeting hall where you guys all got registered. It's way more empty in here now because now that all the recruits have been registered, they've all been put into their teams and such. This place is a lot more deserted. There is like, not so much a barkeep, but there is a guy who is tending what used to be the bar, and he's giving out provisions and drinks as such for the people who have put in like a good hard day's work. Tarek just kind of waves a hand over at the guy handling the bar, and he goes like, "One for each of them."
Oh, no, thank you. I don't drink.
Make that 2 for me.
Seriously?
Fair enough.
Fair enough, all right. And he just kind of motions to the large, like, picnic bench that's inside the barracks. I mean, there's really no other way that these things look. They're basically long picnic benches.
I tap on the barkeep and I say, "Can I just have a glass of water, please?"
The large man with his big brown beard just kind of looks at you and goes like, "Coming right up."
Thank you.
Are you sure you want water in medieval times? Because I don't think that's going to be very clean. So.
Hey, this is also where magic is.
Can I
So you
have
know
some
what?
apple juice?
Water works. For the sake of this, we'll say that water works.
Fabulous.
So yeah, Tarek sits down. What was that? Yep.
Well, yeah, I sure hope it does.
So Tarek sits down on one side of the picnic bench, basically taking up one side, and he motions for you all to sit down on the other side so you're all facing him. At this time, the barkeep rushes over with like a huge platter of like these small kegs of whatever you guys ordered. He drops an ale in front of Tarek, Mistral, Eden, Yip, Sterling. He has a keg of water for Davina. And
You got it right.
yes, I got it right. Thank you.
Water shots.
And with respect, he doesn't give anything to Polo because he requested nothing. Yeah, you didn't say you wanted anything.
I said I wanted 2!
I wanted two, fam.
Okay, rewind. You have a keg of water. Whoops.
It's a struggle day, isn't it?
Shut up.
My gosh.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. It's my break's almost over. My body's rejecting the concept of even going back to work.
And don't taunt the DM, he steals your face.
That's very true.
So,
Touche.
so with that,
Taunty.
Dead.
so with
That's
that,
all everyone dies.
Tarek takes his keg and he just goes like, cheers, and then he just like downs the entire thing. And then he just like plants it upside down on the table before he just kind of like leans over and just kind of folds his hands together, looks at each of you one more time, and he goes like, well, I think you know what's coming here. What happened?
What happened?
Yip kind of raises his glass and starts drinking it so that he's not the one that has to speak.
Wait.
Davina follows.
But before we go any further, just so we have it on record, who currently has the orb?
Who does have the orb?
I have the orb.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Eden, you currently have the orb right now. Where is it?
It's in my backpack, like folded into like some. I don't know what to call it, but like something so it's not shining so bright. But I also know that it's dimmed for us a little
Yeah,
bit.
wait, it's not glowing right now. I think we established that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It made me like start bawling my eyes out.
I went back and watched like.
How about I just shrug and say, we faced the monsters, we were able to kill them. They shouldn't be a problem now.
What exactly was down there that you had to deal with?
Some sort of curse. We don't know exactly what it was.
We found some spiders, you know, they were pretty normal in size, and we found some wolves. We were able to get rid of those very easily.
Yeah, they were definitely pretty vicious out there. But how is it that you guys were able to take out a whole nest of spiders when the first scouts I sent out didn't seem to come back after that?
Because they were at their job.
Say that again, you kind of cut out.
I said because they were terrible at their job.
I was gonna say luck, but I guess that works.
I was.
Tarek just kind of like, he gets another keg of ale. This time he just kind of sips it slowly, and then he kind of leans over and goes, so did you find out anything about why the animals were acting particularly strange around that part of the jungle? I mean, they're all acting vicious, but there was something strange about that area.
No.
No, we didn't find anything.
No.
Ah!
Bless
Okay.
you.
Oozes.
Okay, so Eden and Polo and hold on. Bonbon6394, thanks for the follow.
This main
okay.
conversation.
You're just not in characters now. I can't keep up. No.
Okay, so hold on. So when Tarek asked that question, it was Eden and Polo and Davina, who vocally said no, they didn't find anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you three to roll deception checks.
God damn it. Okay.
I'm glad I didn't say anything. Miss Straw's just sitting in the back like this, like.
That's my deception.
I got a 12.
Like,
You got-
I'm here the whole time.
I got 22.
Hogs.
Okay, so he just kind of nods to Davina and Polo. Eden, however, he noted a little bit of hesitation, like just an instant split second before you responded with no. And he just kind of like, he puts his elbows on the table and he just kind of looks at you, not scowling or anything, but just a bit more inquisitively. And he then just asks, like, you didn't run into anything peculiar out there, did you?
Shit. It's not him saying it's me. Crap. No, the spiders were just. I gesture how big the spiders were. Ginormous spiders.
And you didn't discover anything strange about those spiders?
They were crying black ooze. Same with the wolves.
Hearing that, Tarek just kind of like straightens up, and you can actually visibly see like a chill go down his arms for a moment. And then he just kind of like, he looks around, there's no one over there, looks over there, the barkeep is still over there. Hey, why don't you take a break, alright?
I need another swig.
The barkeep just kind of like nods and he heads out of the giant meat.
I look at Eden and I just give her a look like, girl, I'm sorry,
Can-
boy, why did you say anything? Sorry.
Carly, I wasn't done.
Just like,
So right now it is just Tarek and the 6 of you. No one else is in the meeting hall right now. And he just kind of leans out, he just kind of leans down and he says, yeah, what you're saying is true. Every single animal we've encountered, from like tiny little birds to gigantic wolves and bears and whatever we run into, they all have the same thing. White eyes, black tears, and this instinct to just attack people on sight. Doesn't matter what race you are. If you're some kind of civilized folk and not a wild beast, if they see you, they instantly just drop whatever they're doing. Even if they already have a fresh kill and they're in the middle of having their lunch, if they see you, you're dead.
Well, at least
But
they're
you
not
were
like
able to
this.
fend off a bunch of spiders and such. Was there anything else strange about them you were able to find aside from the white eyes and the black tears?
apart from that, no.
Yeah, they were nicer than my.
Say
Can I
that-
have a quick aside with Davina?
Sure.
You can. However, what are you gonna try and talk about?
I was gonna ask her if she thinks it's a good idea if we should give him the black goop just to get him off our backs.
I think that would be a great idea.
Ah.
That would be
Mistral has a vial of the black ooze in her bag.
And with that, Tarek just
I
kind of
didn't.
widens his eyes for a moment, and he's like, "Hand it over."
This is a good idea. Do it,
It's a
High
very
Elf.
good idea. It's the only thing that we brought back with us.
Also, unmute yourself, High Elf.
Is you're on mute. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, hand it over.
Okay, here you go. As I rummage in my bag to get it.
Tarek takes the small vial, and it's only like this big, and he just kind of looks at it, kind of holds it into like the light, holds it down. He's trying to see like in different lights just to see what it looks like. It looks like just very thick black tar.
That's genuine black tar heroin.
You can explain why it's making the animals go crazy. Though that's more of a cocaine thing than a heroin thing, but you know.
Each their own.
you meet a couple bears. They're both in like hazmat suits. One has glasses and a hat, and he's dealing drugs.
I am the one who
No, they're Rams. Utopia.
Daddy Jr. No,
I am the one who bears.
that's meth.
Oh man.
I am the danger. I am.
Take it back. All right.
I am the one who goes for your picnic basket.
No. I am the one who goes for your picnic basket.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going
So
on
I-
when-
So,
Sorry.
so Tarek,
Oh,
he just
is
kind
he
of look.
okay?
What, Liz?
Yeah. Don't,
Wait.
Is he?
don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm gonna
Paranormal activity.
turn
What
the
are you
camera
doing?
off for a second. I'm still here.
Okay. So anywho, Tarek just kind of looks at the ooze for a moment, and then he just kind of looks over at Mistral, gives like a slight smile and a nod, and he hands her back the vial and just goes, "Good work."
Wow, I didn't expect him to give it back to us. To be honest.
Right?
Great. I don't have to remove it from my page.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I lean into Tarek and I say, "What do you think that is?"
To be honest, I haven't the faintest idea. Although, if you've encountered this ooze yourself by now, you probably know what it does. We've had a lot of incidents where we have a lot of our warriors defending our fort from these animals. And occasionally they'll get some of that stuff on their person. Be it like they get too close when striking with their axes. But whenever that blood gets on them, they have fits of rage and insanity. They can't tell
Well,
friend
it's a
from
good thing
foe.
that didn't happen. It only happened for a little bit, but we were able to fix that.
Is there anyone in town or near the town you know who could study this stuff?
No. Much of the towns close by here don't really have the supplies to study this kind of thing. The closest place that would ever have the facilities like that would be... Alright.
Where?
Here's... I know you guys just got here, but here's already your next task. Along with some supplies, I want you six personally to take what you found, and I'm going to officially charter an airship to take you back to the capital, to Acheron.
An airship?
On a side note, airships are not that amazing. They are the main mode of travel in this world, so it's
Yeah, they're
basically...
the boss.
I mean,
He's
it's
over
still
in
an
the-
I'm making a
airship,
comment. I'm making a comment. A long trip?
Tarek just kind of gives you a look, like this isn't funny. Many people have died. No drug jokes about this, please.
I'm so sorry.
Please don't use drugs on the airship so we don't all explode.
So here's what I want you to do. You're gonna take that ooze, as well as any others that you find. And
You're gonna get on the plane. Sorry.
You're gonna get on an airship, take it all the way to Acheron. It's about a day's travel from here, especially if you're going there straight. I'll officially make sure that the airship doesn't stop anywhere else. Once you get to Acheron, and I'll have a map drawn for you, I need you to go to Patrick's Apothecary. He's a personal friend who has a contract with the Greyblades right now, so anytime we find any new discoveries, especially those of the flesh and blood variety,
Is Patrick watching?
No.
Oh, okay, I got very excited.
He'll, if anything, no one's ever come closer than this before. No one's ever been able to get a sample of this stuff, especially one so clean, so to speak. So, Patrick's gonna be your best bet to figure out just what is this stuff here. Also, if you would be willing to do me a favor. This one is secondary, though. In Acheron is the official headquarters of the Greyblades itself. I want you to stop by there, and I want you to give your report to them as well as this letter here. And he kind of pulls out this small roll of parchment, and he gives this one to Davina.
You give me a scroll, you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, a small scroll.
Okay.
Small scroll.
I had this one specifically prepared just on the chance that all of you did actually come back alive. This is an official letter of recommendation for you all that you've officially moved up in the ranks, so to speak.
I'm inspired by your faith in us.
As such, I would like to personally say that you have completed your training here with the first successful mission. By turning that into Greyblade headquarters, you'll actually be enlisted to take on jobs and requests from the headquarters itself, as well as any other person who is willing to give requests. But like I said,
Do we have to give this to anybody in particular?
just head over there, introduce yourselves, they'll know what to do.
Okay.
The capital is our home world.
The capital is your home city. Like, it's not your actual home, but it is the literal center of government in this continent.
Okay.
Now.
So with that being said,
Oh, I see what she's doing.
It's a good thing I played all that Assassin's Creed. Sorry.
I've been marathoning that series lately ever since they announced the Vikings.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, I got frustrated, and now I'm watching just compilation cinematics of Unity and Syndicate because I just want to get to Egypt. That's the one I want to
totally
play.
get that.
It's really fun to play though.
Oh, I know. It looks fun. Plus, I just love the Egypt aesthetic. Okay, anywho, back in character.
It's not a podcast.
Tarek, after he
We're
gives
trying
you
to
your
do an actual mission.
Tarek,
Sorry.
after giving you all your 2 new orders, he visibly relaxes, and he just kind of like rolls his neck a bit, and you can actually hear some audible like bone cracking as he does so.
Like,
And then he just kind of gives a calm smile like, that all being said, you don't have to leave until tomorrow. I say you take the rest of the day to rest, recuperate, regain any supplies you might have lost during your expedition out there in the jungle. You'll leave first thing tomorrow. But right now, I say you all earned a little R&R.
shopping.
And with that, he kind of stands up and he puts his hands behind his back and he goes, "That'll be all. Dismissed."
All right.
And then he just walks right out. So, what are you guys gonna do now?
I'm going to shop.
Do we each have our own like places to rest, or
You all
is
just
it, like,
you
one
all
big-
just have a general community barracks that you all sleep. None of you have personal rooms.
Got it.
I would like to say, the first thing on Yip's list, clean the spider goop off of his spear with a bag, making sure he doesn't personally touch it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
your gear has it on it, but you still have yet to actually touch it.
Yeah,
Davina
you should be like,
Davina is
grab the
covered in
bag.
the black goop,
So
but
Sterling.
so is Sterling. But you've all been able to will through the enraging, so you guys are just like covered in blood right now. But you're fine.
Is there like a place where I can wash?
There is like a river that the fort has incorporated within its walls, so you can just
Okay,
head
I
down.
go to the river. Is there anybody there?
There's a few people there washing up.
I
like,
wait till they're gone.
yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like when they
Well,
leave, more
then
people are gonna
I
come.
Clean myself off the best I can.
Okay.
Clothing, yes, I can.
Can I do a
I
shopping
very
trip?
comfortably go to the river and just completely get butt naked and get in the river.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna do that.
I mean, that's
still.
definitely a
Davina
move.
just like she kind of looks around, does not take off her cape, takes off her top layer, and leaves everything else on, and just tries to like get her stuff as clean as she can.
Meanwhile, Sterling just literally jumps into the river
Sorry.
butt naked.
And Davina's just like.
Okay, so Eden, you said you
There
were
we
gonna
go.
go shopping. Now this place has its own
got
apothecary. This place has its own little apothecary. There's a small general store where they basically just turn into a requisitions place, and then they have their own little smith.
Well,
Some places
I'm
to get
talking
supplies, but I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get like, what was it? It was studded leather and then like a new blade, maybe 2.
Okay, so the studded leather you're gonna possibly get at the general store. The blade will be at the smith.
Okay. I'll
Oh,
go to the-
speaking of that, I go up to Polo and I say, "Hey, about the great sword, keep it."
All right then.
And I walk away.
Bonding moment.
Davina, thank you.
No problem.
Can I go?
I'd like to take the time to splash Polo with some water.
Griffith,
What, Polo?
What? Polo, what'd you say?
I said Griffith and Guts playing Splash, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I would like to go to the general store and try and buy a studded leather.
I would like to go to the general and save some time. Sorry.
Haha.
What would I?
Well, hold on. Let's focus on Eden right now because we already kind of established
Yeah.
Davina doing something. So Eden, you go to the general store. There's a new person there. It looks like they rotate out the person managing the requisitions in shifts. So this is a new guy. He's a small half-elf boy. He seems to be just now putting some boxes away. He just kind of looks over to Eden, just kind of glances at her, but then just kind of like double takes and goes like, "Oh! Oh!" He puts the box away, walks up to the counter. Oh, so your team made it back.
Yes, we did.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess I lost 30 gold now.
Wow.
Dick.
I didn't
Uh,
know
So did I.
that.
So how can we help you?
Do you have any studded leather in?
He kind of thinks for a moment. Just one moment. And he just kind of rushes into the back. He hears some rustling, the many creaking of boxes that he's opening, and he's like, no. Squeak! After a couple minutes or so, he walks back out, and he goes, "I'm not sure how much you wanted, but I have enough studded leather to possibly make some arm gauntlets."
That might work.
All right. These will be, let's see here. He just kind of looks at the gauntlets, kind of glances back at all of his other stock and such. For the record, Kiera, how much gold do you have in total?
I have 10 gold. I don't have a lot.
Let me see what I can do with myself.
He kind of looks at these and he goes, well, if you want both of these, that's going to be about 15 gold. But if you want just one of these, I can give you one of these for just 7.
Take one.
Can you trade something? Or he? Sorry.
I don't have a lot though. The only thing I could trade would be like the basic gear that we got. Oh wait, would I be able to sell the sword, my rapier, and I get?
You want to get rid of your weapon?
Well, yeah, because I want a better one.
Oh!
Makes total sense.
I'm gonna dual hand. I'm gonna be a badass.
I mean, you can if you want. So you're gonna give up your rapier for one studded leather gauntlet?
Well, I mean, if it gives me enough, I'd buy both of them. But
all right. So do you actually offer the trade to him?
yeah, if he accepts it.
He kind of looks at the rapier. He just kind of like looks at it, looks at you, looks at the gauntlet, and he goes, "All right, take it."
Oh, okay. Buy rapier.
And he just kind of looks at the rapier like, "Oh wow." And then you said you're heading to the smith.
For alive. The ones that actually survived.
Yeah. Okay, if you
Well,
learn how to use it, I can teach him. Defend himself.
Okay, so now you wanted to head to the smith?
Yes.
Okay, so you head to the smith, and there's already like not a large, but there's an orc there, like a full-blooded orc, and he's just kind of like he's doing tiny little hammers. He's doing detail work on like the side of this mace right now. He just kind of sniffs for a moment, kind of turns towards you, and he goes, "Oh, how can we help you out?"
Well, hang on. Did I get was it just the trade for the gauntlet?
Yeah, you
Then-
you didn't spend any money.
Okay.
Yeah, so you still have 10 gold.
How much money do I have?
And then with that, would the studded gauntlet still be like studded leather?
Yes.
I now have armor. So yeah. Yay! I'm not squishy.
Yay,
I asked him if he has any long swords, and if so, how much would they run?
The orc just kind of thinks for a moment, then he just kind of looks behind him at all of the many long swords that are on the rack behind him, and he goes like, "What else do I make here? Take your pick."
So, well, and then I asked him how much would they run them.
He actually kind of looks you up and down, and he kind of gives you a bit of a confused look, because here's the thing: he did not see you give your rapier away.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like, you really went out that mission all by yourself without any kind of weapon?
I have my bow.
Oh, right, you do have a bow. I actually completely forgot you had one. Which is weird, because that's how you finished the fight last session.
Yeah, I
Um,
fucking
also mentioned
proud
it.
of you.
Motherfucking bow.
By the way, while it's happening, I'm getting all the stuff in my inventory, so that's all explained.
Okay,
So.
awesome. He kind of looks at you up and down for a moment, then he looks at his many rack of long swords. He grabs one. It is a long sword, but it is a little on the short side. But it looks very sharp. It does still have a shine to it, so it's clear that it has yet to be even used in battle.
Okay.
He just kind of looks at this for a moment, kind of eyes you, making sure, like, is this, like, the right size for you? And then he goes, like, this one's not too heavy, but it can definitely pack a punch. For this one, 7 gold.
I'll take it. I'll give him 7 gold.
All right, you spend 7 gold and you get a shiny new longsword.
Ooh, I only have 3 gold in my name now.
All right, so who's next? Mistral, are you doing anything?
I was going to say that I would like to go and find some more new equipment.
Do it.
Well, that's pretty much just gonna be exactly what Eden did. The same general store, the same smith. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a small camp.
Yeah.
I could have gone together. It would have been cute.
Well,
I
I
just-
decided to go to the river.
I just gave Polo a bunch of stuff, like, in between episodes, so that's why I'm just like, all the meanwhile, I'm just getting all the stuff that's now in my inventory, so.
Wow.
Okay. What would I want? Oh, I would like to go get some new armor.
All right, so you want to head to the general store?
Hey, Evan.
Yes.
After I'm done cleaning up and everything, I'm also going to be going to said stores. So if you want me with her or without her, that's fine.
Okay, well, I think well, random animal.
Siggy. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh. Well, Mistral, if you're not against it, it sounds like Sterling is gonna elect himself to go with you.
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
like getting dressed as like we're walking in the middle.
Everyone you pass by is just like,
And I'm not phased by it. I'm just still walking, looking straight forward, like, this is normal.
Sounds about right.
you both finally reach the general store, and that same half elf boy is still kind of like putting stock away. Sees the two of you approach, and he's like, more of Eden's team. What can we help you guys with?
Would you like to go first with your decision, or would you like me?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear
Yeah.
you. We need you to actually do something. Are you gonna do something?
Oh, well, I said Mistral can go first. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad. Sure. Ladies first. I'm looking for some new armor.
All right, and we definitely have no shortage of that. What kind of armor are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for. Currently I have some like light leather armor. I'm looking for something, maybe something for my arms because this is very much I have a chest protection, but just in case anything wants to hit my arms, I gotta protect those.
Okay. I think I got just the thing. He quickly runs into the back. There's less shuffling going around that you can hear. He comes back out with two not gauntlets, but they're like bracers for the tops of your arms. And they're both he kind of walks up to you holding them both one in each hand and goes like, I got these two. These both will run you about 10 gold.
Together or 10 each?
Together.
Okay.
All right, so do you spend 10 gold?
Yes.
All right,
Did we get paid for that last job?
Not.
Oh. Wait, who just murdered?
That was me.
You did not get paid just yet.
I would like to get paid.
You want to go back to Tarek and tell him that? So anyway, back to Mistral.
Yes.
Do you want the bracers?
Yes, I would like the bracers.
Okay, you spend 10 gold, you get two new shiny leather bracers.
Oh, so nice.
All right, Sterling, are you gonna get anything?
Oh, yeah, do I see that rapier that Eden just sold? Is that like kind of like around, or is like?
Yeah, he just kind of stood that up, and it's kind of leaning in a corner. He hasn't had time to actually do anything with it.
Oh, I have a friend who has a rapier just like this. How much for the rapier?
He kind of looks over at it, kind of looks to you. Considering that you basically told a lie saying that this is a friend, this looks like a friend's rapier, he, make a deception check.
I mean, technically they are friends.
And also, he doesn't know that she sold the rapier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
Touché.
Okay, actually, then you know what? Never mind.
He legit just thinks it's like a replica.
He's a piece to tell the truth.
He just kind of looks at the rapier, looks back at you, goes like, for that thing, 8 gold.
8 gold. Man.
It's technically
How much-
used.
I'll pay 5 for it.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Hackling, I like.
Okay.
Hey.
Let's see.
How do I know how much money I have?
It should
if you
be on
go
your
under-
character sheet by currency.
Go to
Yeah.
you click on what she said. Click on equip.
Yeah,
In,
under
in
equipment.
this game, if you either do starting equipment that you get for your class,
Persuasion.
where you
We're looking at a
get
solid
gold
9.
in your class.
A solid 9, you say?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
He just kind of looks at the rapier, kind of scowls at you a little bit, and he just goes 6 gold.
It's gold.
6.
I literally take out my
What?
and say, I said, I take out my coin purse and put it on the, and I say 5 gold and the bag.
Persistent little shit, isn't he?
Make another persuasion check.
This is a bigger war of attrition than against the spiders.
You won't.
How about a 3?
A what?
A 3.
A 3.
The shopkeeper just kind of gives you this look like, really? And he just goes, 6 gold. No lower. No add-ons.
Hey, still brought it lower. I'd say go for it.
Don't
Deal or no deal.
I say, I'm alright. It's not that impressive anyway. I say, you know what? Do you have any more of those bracers though?
He goes into the back. Oh, give me a check. Let me find one your size. And he walks into the back.
As soon as he walks into the back room, I just grab the rapier and I walk out.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I haven't even.
I don't wanna.
What?
I don't
wanna.
wanna, so I'm gonna give myself that 19 that I rolled. And 19.
Oh yeah, your divination. All right. So yeah, you get the rapier and you make 0 noise doing so.
No, like
Yeah,
I
you
make
do.
just enough noise to Mistral. I'll be like, hey, I kind of like wave the rapier around and I wave it to the door. I'm like, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
feel like you knew he was gonna try and swipe it, so you didn't say like he rustles around and comes back with it. You're like,
I
doesn't
knew
do
where
it.
he was going with this. I would have still made him roll anyway if it wasn't for that
Yeah.
divination.
Yeah, of course.
So my rapier is not going unloved then.
Yeah.
Like to point out that Sterling in this campaign,
Gold.
Sterling stole something before Polo did. I'd like to point that out, and I'm the thief.
The criminal
Oh.
didn't
Polo, I
steal
got a challenge.
anything
Let's see who can
Yeah.
steal the most.
I haven't had anything to steal.
I would just like to say, given this circumstance, essentially we made like what was it, 10 gold off of this because we the stud of leather was for 10 gold, traded the rapier, and then stole the rapier back.
You're not wrong.
Ah, yeah. You guys actually made a little profit.
Am I still
I actually
standing
have
in the
nowhere
store?
to store
Yeah,
the
Mistral,
rapier,
you're
so
not
it's
doing
actually
anything.
just
You're still
kinda-
standing at the general store.
You're like staring at the walls, facing out.
Well, because I'm just like,
Mr.
was
so baked right now. Like,
I was like,
Based on long trips.
because I was like, I was gonna get other things, but do I stay? Do I leave?
I mean, you
Do I
can,
stay or do
you
I
don't
go
know
now?
me.
like you can stay.
Sabina walks in. Hey girl, how's it going?
Hi, I don't know how to explain what just happened. I am currently waiting my turn.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'll explain later because I don't want anybody to hear about it. So, like, I'm just waiting for this dude to come from the back so he can realize what just happened. So,
As if on cue, the half elf kind of walks back with 2 more bracers, but then he just kind of looks around like, "Hey, where'd your friend go?"
not sure. I was wondering, do you have any longbows?
He kind of thinks for a moment, and he kind of puts the bracers back. This time, he actually does not go into the back of the building. He actually kind of looks just behind him and pulls out just a basic longbow. It doesn't really look like anything special. It's just a basic longbow. He kind of looks to you and goes like, "All right, so here's the thing. This is the last longbow I got. So for this one, 15 gold.
No, 10.
Make a persuasion check."
Okay.
We're haggling, man.
Oh, I'm haggling.
Hey, quick question.
Yes.
So, I'd assume like by now Yip's kind of cleaned off his green stuff.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Of course. So I would just like Yip to walk in at this point because I
What'd you
mean
get?
we're all convening here.
Wait,
So I mean,
Hold on. Yep, sorry to stop you. Mistral, what did you roll?
I got a 25.
That's my girl!
The sword, just take it all.
Yeah, the elf just kind of looks at the bow, just kind of looks at it, goes like, no one else wanted this anyway. Everyone else has got bows. So yeah, 10 gold.
Man, okay, great. I'll take it. I should have made the price lower.
Too late. You made the deal. So he hands you. So you now have a longbow.
Yeah.
and Yip walks
No, she
in.
already isn't. And she asks, and then after Mistral is like done paying for stuff, she asks, "Do you have a chainmail shirt?"
Chainmail shirt. Ooh.
Wait, are you asking the shopkeeper or Mistral? Shopkeep just kind of shakes his head and goes like, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anything metal here, period.
What kind of armor do you have?
Just leather, studded leather, and some very thick leather, but nothing metal.
Okay, never mind then. And she leaves.
And I scurry behind as she walks
I
out.
waited for you. I'd like to think she did.
All right, so is anyone else gonna do anything else?
Yep.
As if on cue, Yip, as they leave, Yip walks in and yet another wave of another one.
I've got no money, so there's really no point in me trying anything.
Haggle for something that's free.
And I just gave you a great sword.
Yip approaches the half-elf and is like, "Oh, you wouldn't happen to have any darts or needles or anything, like throwing darts?
You don't
Or like blowgun darts kind of deal?"
don't have any what? Oh, blowgun darts?
Well, like not blowgun darts, but just like
Throwing.
throwing darts.
The shopkeep just kind of gives you a weird look, and he's just like, no, we don't have anything like that. Pretty much everything, any kind of weapon or armor we have is on the bigger side. We don't have any darts.
All right.
I got like small crossbow bolts, if that's what you're looking for.
No, I think I'm fine. Thank you for your time.
All right,
And
suit
he
yourself.
walked out. He walked out.
All right, so is that pretty much everything anyone's gonna do? All right. Night has officially fallen, and the activity of the camp is no less active right now, because now you got all of the night shift guards staying on the perimeter, keep staying in their watchtowers. There's open torches being lit as they all keep a steady watch out. The nightlife, in terms of the wildlife of the jungle, is very active. Any kind of animal you can think of that lives in the jungle is making noise right now. But so far, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a night where you're all going to be attacked. So everyone else who's not all on shift, everyone heads back to the barracks because there is a curfew. And they all start to get into their respective beds. Some are lightly chatting. Some are having snacks right now. What do you guys do?
I just kind of lay in bed thinking my thoughts.
So rude. Davina just lays down and goes to sleep.
Okay, so Davina's asleep.
Yip is sitting at his bedside, kind of doing a nightly prayer.
Uh-huh.
Mistral's just holding the little vial of goop, looking at it. Because she can't fall asleep, so she's just like...
So this barracks, is it just like a series of beds, basically?
Just a long hall of nothing but bunk beds.
Okay. Whose bed is closest to me on like my left and my right?
Where's this going?
Teams kind of stick together in these barracks. So on your right would be Eden, and on your left would be Davina.
God.
Okay. So like as the night proceeds, and like the majority of people seem asleep, I'm gonna like get really low on the barracks, like really low to the floor, and then kind of like poke at Davina's side and be like, hey.
Davina wakes up and says, "What the fuck do you want?"
Sorry, guys. The cat's
So
like,
cute, cat bite.
yeah, but
Let's see what all that
that's inappropriate, Gilligan.
outside.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Let's see what all that noise is about.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm all good. Thanks.
Shut down so
I
fast.
kind of like hop over the bed and then like poke at Eden.
And you
Yeah.
completely don't miss Davina, and she's like, "Oh my god." Okay.
completely don't miss. Same idea. I'm just like, Eden,
Go right on
Eden,
top of her, just like, oh my god.
let's sneak out.
Why?
Let's. Why not?
Because literally we just came back from a fight. From giant fucking spiders and wolves. Aren't you tired?
I just like sigh maybe a little bit too loud, and I hop over her. And who's the next bed?
He!
Are you trying to cause something?
Can I do
I'm not
something?
trying to cause it. I'm trying to explore and do something.
I want to do something.
Okay, Polo, what are you gonna do?
I try to nab the orb from the Eden's bag.
How dare
Oh,
you?
you're gonna try and nap the orb? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not what you think.
Do you want me to just roll to see if I notice it?
Yeah, in this case, Polo, I want you to make a stealth check.
Stealth check. All right. Now, okay. Let's try that again. What's my stealth? Okay, I get a 10.
Okay, you have a 10.
Want me to make
Eden,
perception?
I want you to roll a perception check.
Ha! I saw nothing. It's a 1. Fucking
Wait,
it's
do you-
-1.
Eden, you are passed out. Like, there's a little drool coming out of your mouth right now.
That's why I picked.
So, Polo, you are able to successfully get the bundle of blankets out of Eden's pack, and in that bundle is the green orb.
Okay.
Now,
So
now hold on. Do you unwrap it, or do you keep it wrapped up?
it's probably smart to keep it wrapped up. So
All right, so what do you do with it?
I look at it and I say, I want to talk.
There's no response right now.
Huh. Well, makes it all seem not very worth it, doesn't it?
Steal from a sleeping person.
Another team do not have that.
Out of character. That was out.
Alright. Try one last thing.
Okay.
I say, do you want to go to the capital?
There is a long pause, and then you just hear, just echo in your head, Capital?
Baby's first step.
So, like, the little god is repeating your word, not knowing what it is.
Alright, I guess I decide it's best if we, figure out what's going to happen once we get there. So I just put the orb back.
Okay. So you put the orb back. Eden is still, like, passed out right now.
More interesting, I'm sorry.
Are you going to do anything else, or are you all going to be falling asleep now?
No, I'll go back to bed.
Well, I was gonna say, if I wasn't passed out, if I'm digging through my bag, do I feel anything that's suspicious?
Not really. I mean, the bundle of blankets that the orb was inside was kind of in the top. So it just feels like it's in the top again, so it doesn't look any different right now. So, literally, everyone...
No, it don't matter.
So everyone is asleep?
Yeah.
That scene really didn't accomplish anything, so,
Okay, so you all fall asleep. All 6 of you now find yourselves standing in a black void.
Does it look familiar to me?
To you, Yip, it does. This is the same black void that you witnessed when you first touched the orb. But for everyone else, this is new. You're all awake. You're all fully dressed and geared up. And you're all just standing in a black void right now.
do we see each other? Or is it
Yes,
just-
you all do see each other. You're standing right next to each other.
So I kind of look around and I just say, "What the hell is going on?"
This is the void that I was in when I first touched the wall.
What? So you did see something?
News to us.
So you lied to us.
I thought that was apparent when you got the orb.
I'm like, I kind of like I kind of pace around a little bit for a moment, just kind of like looking around at the nothingness, and then like, I'm like, this is really strange. And then I walk past Eden and I take out the rapier, and I'm like, by the way, I think this is yours.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I think you're gonna keep it for yourself.
As you guys are talking amongst yourselves, you see a glow of green appear before you, and the small green owlbear cub just suddenly just appears, just kind of sitting, looking at each of you with its giant owl eyes. And then it just kind of like gets up on all fours and just goes, "Please help." And then all of a sudden it turns around and starts to scamper off.
I follow it immediately.
I follow
Follow
it.
it?
You all follow it? Okay.
I follow it.
Yeah, follow it, sure.
As
Just waiting for this to happen.
as you guys follow it, it's not the little owl bear. Every once in a while would look back at you to see if you're following. It's not running away from you. It's taking you somewhere. As you continue to run, the space around you actually starts to change. You do still feel a solid surface beneath your feet, even though it looks like there's nothing there at all. The void slowly turns black, or slowly turns from black, and you can actually see what looks like a night sky all around you. But everything seems to have just a very faint hue of red and green. And as you keep on
Sorry.
What?
It's Christmas.
And as you run, you find yourselves like, this is a dream, so things aren't necessarily really in your control. This isn't like a lucid dream to an extent. So you guys are just still running and running. As you keep on running, the space like in your immediate vision, like above you and before you, a shape begins to appear. And then from there you see two shapes, and then like two more, almost kind of in a line. It's you can't really discern much because they're just silhouettes of shadow. But for the one in the middle, you see what looks like a tall, cloaked figure holding a staff and what looks like horns coming out of their head and glowing green eyes, but they're like a sharp, darker green, not like the light, calm green that's coming off of the owlbear. I'm not done yet. And then the moment you all notice that, you feel just this absolute, like, feeling of malicious hatred directed right at you.
I mean, I always feel that way, but
So, wait, Carly, what were you gonna say?
Can I do a religion check because we're in a dream, or do I have to wait?
You have to wait. You can't do any checks in
But I
here because
figured.
this
I
is
just
just
wanna
like a
ask.
dream sequence.
The checklist zone.
Oh.
When the middle figure's eyes light up, the figures on the immediate sides light up. One has red eyes, one has light blue eyes. Then the next two, you see like brown eyes and white eyes. And then these figures just fade away. So do all of the stars around you. And the little owlbear just kind of scampers off, like, out of sight into the shadows beyond. It is now the next morning, and you all wake up.
What? Oh, right, up immediately, going, what the
And
fuck?
I bolt up at the same time as Eden.
I'm assuming we all had that same dream.
Yeah.
I would assume
If
so.
you're talking about the horned figure and the cloak and the yes.
All right.
All of that.
The eyes, though. What does that mean?
Can I do a religion check now?
You can if you want.
Hold on, let me get
Yip
there.
kind of says, maybe we should keep it down a little, not alert the others that we're all having strange dreams
I
about.
got a 17.
Okay, you got a 17. Now,
So you mean we shouldn't be yelling that we just saw a strange creature in our dreams all at the same time?
Now, as was explained before, because this was explained back in the caves with Sterling, when he did like another check, which kind of let you know about some of the history and cultures of this world, you do know that there are many different gods that are worshipped in today's modern society, or as modern as it can possibly
What about
get.
what about the creature we saw with the horns?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Carly, so impatient.
Impatient motherfucker. Sorry.
Carly, what am I gonna do with you? And if you'll give me just a moment, I'm actually trying to pull up my list, because I actually have my pantheons written down. Here we go. So as you know, when it comes to modern civilization, there is a pantheon that is pretty publicly worshipped. It hasn't taken over all of society, but it's a majority. It's a very large focused group in all of society right now. You have Nord, the god of law, Crom, the god of steel.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Crom, the god.
Deal. Okay,
Yeah.
go
From
for it.
Conan?
Varus, the god of war. Eva, the goddess of peace. Taurus, the god of commerce. So like the god of merchants.
Okay. You
And-
said Taurus?
Taurus, Toras.
My favorite Pokemon. Sorry.
And Manisa, the goddess of travel. And you can actually recall on the airship ride to Dallin Outpost, like there was a small altar to Manisa like built right next to the helm of the ship. So you are familiar with these gods, though it's up to you whether you are actually a worshiper of these gods. However, you can't quite. You're pretty confident. Whoever these figures are that you see, none of the pantheon you know has horns.
Okay.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
So as you guys are talking amongst yourselves, some guy just kind of bursts through the door into the barracks, and he just goes, Team 4! Tarek wants to see you up at the landing pad! And then he just walks out.
Great.
I thought we were.
You soldier.
What?
Oh, we were team 9.
We're Team D.
No, I'm pretty sure I had you guys
yeah,
at
that was
Team
your team.
4.
I have that written down.
Yeah, wait, no, it was letters.
Yeah, it's letters.
It
I
was?
have it written
Letters.
down.
What did I say? Okay, hold on. Everyone shut up. You're all talking at the same time.
It's we're Group D.
Group D, thank you.
I have it in my notes.
Well, then I was half right, because 4 and D, they're the same thing.
We're team 4-star.
Where did I get 9 from?
What is
This show looks like she's shooting a rap video.
Okay, so do you all head out to the landing pad?
No reason not to.
Okay, you all get dressed, you all get your gear. The orb is secure in the sack. That's good.
Wait a minute. Did you just say you choose not to go?
Okay.
Hello?
No, I said I'm going.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you said I choose not to go. And I was like,
There's no reason not to.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misheard you.
Okay.
I think I have the rapier back at my side again because it was the dreams.
Yeah, it was just a
sequence.
dream when you handed her back her
And I'm
rapier.
just
I was gonna
like-
flip out if he had it with him now.
That'd be trippy. Like,
No, I have it with me now. Yeah. And I just gotta
So then, do you give it back to
I
her?
try to give it back to you.
To him.
To
well,
him?
in the dream
Yeah.
sequence,
In?
I like approach Eden, and I'm just like, I think I gave it, but, and then I give you the rapier again.
I guess I take it back.
All right.
I can sell it again.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. The vicious cycle is gonna keep continuing.
Damn it.
So do you guys continue to the landing pad?
Surely.
Yeah.
Eden's gonna get a cursed rapier, buying it back or stealing it back for her.
Yes, we go to the landing pad.
Okay,
Yes.
you go there. There's already a large airship that's already landed there waiting for you. And Tarek is just standing there at attention waiting for you guys to actually walk up the stairs. He just kind of nods to each 6 of you and he goes, "All right, you all ready to go?"
I will be right back.
No problem.
No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
So he walks up to each of you and he goes like, "Remember, go to the apothecary first. What we need most of all is any kind of information to what that black stuff is that's basically causing all the wildlife to be like this for as long as we can remember. Once you're done with that, then you can head over to the headquarters of the Greyblades. And that's where you can officially complete your registration, complete your training as well. And there'll be some gold waiting for you as well."
Alright, Davina, did you write down that we should visit the apothecary first?
What? Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, good.
All right. So with that said, he then pulls out another larger parchment and he hands it to Polo, and he goes like, "This is a map of Acheron itself. I'm not sure if you've been there, but the place is massive. You will get lost on your first day. With this, at least there's a smaller chance of that happening." And he gives Polo the map.
Okay.
All right. He just kind of looks at each of you and he goes, "Good luck. Stay safe. Don't crash." And with that, he walks down the stairs off the landing pad.
Wait, what was that part?
Look up. Wait a minute. What?
Tarek's already long gone, dude.
Wait, hold on.
Yip,
Do we have
before
a
stepping
pilot?
on, kind of makes a small prayer.
Yeah, wait, do we actually be piloting this thing?
No, as I was going to say before everyone started blurting out, this ship does have a pilot.
Okay, alright.
I think he was just fucking with us, trying to be that dick.
Okay.
What you see is this is honestly the name I intended for this guy, but his name is Old Joe. He's just like he's this Captain Ahab looking feller with like a big bushy white beard and a small corn pipe, Popeye style. And he's missing one eye for some reason.
I want him to be my grandpa.
He's Sid. That's what.
Yeah, he is your Sid.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he goes like, Group D. I was wondering when you guys were gonna wake up. You all set?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
All right then. Sit down, hold tight. He kind of pulls a couple levers. The ship just lurches up into the air. And he goes like, "Oh, sorry." It rises a bit slower now. And it goes higher and higher. And then it finally starts to move forward.
So, do we know how long this trip is?
You are leaving. Since you're leaving like right at the crack of dawn, you will probably get to Acheron like in the evening.
Great, so Michelle finds a spot.
Davina follows her immediately because she knows what's up.
And she just goes into her bag.
I'm not having leaves shoved into my mouth again, so I'm not following anybody.
Oh, Davina follows. She's like,
Yep.
Mr.
Knowing what's gonna happen, but not wanting to be held accountable for their actions, kind of just turns away, like it's not happening.
So, Michelle finds a nice, like, window seat and goes to her bag and finds a few cookies. And decides to take one and then proceeds to look around and notices a few followers have
And
joined.
notices Davina. Hey man, do you spice?
Fine. Were you looking to have an easy trip to this?
Oh, 100%.
Here you go.
Wait, so you don't smoke it, you have edibles?
I brought edibles because, you know, flying in the air, you never know. The weed is for the ground, the edibles are for the sky. You gotta be safe. You don't put a fire on a flying.
Yeah, man, don't you know?
Don't you know?
God.
I eat the cookie.
Okay, Davina, give a constitution check. Or no, a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm about to have a really bad trip, aren't I? All right. I got. Oh, okay.
Have a
got
nice trip.
3.
See you next
Wait,
fall.
how much did you get?
I got a 3 because I rolled a 2.
Oh.
One.
Oh.
Did you add your saving throw?
Oh shit! No, I didn't. Wait a minute. So I got an 8.
Okay.
It's still below 10, which was the DC for this. So, at first, Davina, nothing happens. But then,
Everything happens.
the world around you slowly starts to turn into rainbows. You see pink unicorns farting pink clouds just flying through the sky. You look down at your hands, and they're melting.
This is LSD? What's going on here?
Oh no.
And Mistral's just sitting there, just staring out the window, like.
And Davina's just, I like say,
It's just like lightweight.
I can just picture her just being like.
no. No, she is just sitting there and she's just looking at her hand.
You're seeing vapor trails.
The world is
Hey,
vapor.
can I say at some point during this trip I'd see Davina tripping out somewhere?
Oh yeah, Davina.
Oh, totally.
Davina is lost to the world right now.
Great song. Just saying.
Davina,
is lost in the thought.
I imagine like after about like 5 to 10 minutes of your trip, like you'll cut the main deck of the airship. And,
Oh no, man, I was thinking in the
I'll be
exact
saying-
same thought. I'm just chilling.
Well, I would like to point out the airship is structured like a kind of like a pirate ship, but instead of sails, it's propellers. So it's open on the top.
Oh, cool. So I'm sitting on one of the boxes that I'm presuming are there, and I'm just going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like after a minute, like you're gonna hear me hitting a bunch of birds in Arcane and whatnot. But then out of just seemingly out of nowhere, this like big like round rock will appear like directly in front of me, and I like press my hand on it, and it's just kind of floating there. And by the way, this is the Tensler's floating disc for those who don't know.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of like put my hand on it, trying to like weigh its comfortability, basically. But I see you tripping balls, and I'm like, Davina, come here for a second. Come here for a second.
And I think, I don't know.
Davina, I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I don't know if I can.
Oh hell yeah! Hold on. What's my modifier on that? I got a 17.
Okay, you got a 17. Okay, so Sterling, what was it exactly that you said word for word?
I said, hey, Davina, come here for a minute.
Okay, Davina, what you hear is Davina, here.
And I look at him and I just say, excuse me?
And I just say it again, Davina, here.
Davina, do another perception check.
Side note, I'm not the only one that
Oh
has
shit, I got a 4.
You okay?
What is with your rolls?
They just all over the place. noise, yo.
Okay, so what he said was, Davina, come here for a moment. What you heard was, Davina, would you like a nice sautéed plate of hamster heads?
I look at him and I say, absolutely not. You should be ashamed of
I'm looking
yourself.
at
The greatest game of telephone ever.
I just say, okay, whatever. And like you see me like lay on the Tensler's floating disc and just like it's a hammock.
Anyone else doing anything during this
I
trip?
love this so much.
No.
No, not really.
Yip, like,
gonna
Yip
put
is
Davina.
on like the other side of the ship of Davina, just like purposefully not looking at her. Like, I do not see it. It is not happening. If I do not see it happening, if I do not see it happening.
Is he?
I look at Pit, I look at Yip and I say, hey man.
If I do not see it, it is not happening. He's like walking in the opposite direction.
I don't see it. It's not happening.
I am one with the Force is with me. I am one with the Force is with me.
Oh, also, like, in the Discord, in Davina's chat, if you want to look at it.
Oh god, what did you put? Because I saw that I had a mention.
That's fine.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I was
It's what's her face from
Candace.
From
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb.
Ferb just freaking out.
She
Hair
gets
everywhere.
hard, yeah.
I mean, that is basically what's happening.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Well,
does anyone else do anything during this long trip?
Yeah,
No.
the stall uses the restroom at some point.
Okay.
Oh, goodbye.
I should mute
Somehow
myself.
finds a bush. A toilet-shaped bush.
We don't have a bush anymore.
Okay, so Old Man Joe is just, like, he's focused in his own little compartment where he's got the helm as well as all the other little controls. Beyond that, though, there is still... It's just the 6 of you on this ship. As you all are kind of doing your own thing, by now, the sun has slowly started to begin its descent. For Davina, the drugs have, like, long worn off, and now you just feel like... Now you just feel like hot hell right now.
What drug makes you feel like that?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I
Don't
never...
do drugs, kids.
I mean, I've only ever smoked weed and
I mean,
it's never made me
when I
feel
started
good.
it was pretty bad. Of like, I felt really warm.
See, I don't do it often, so it's probably why I've never
All of our
had a
viewers,
bad experience.
don't
I've done it
smoke
one time.
weed.
Okay, smoke it
I
and
agree with
where it's legal. Please don't do
I'm
it.
serious, it's true.
We do not condone the use
I've
of
never done drugs,
anything.
but
as you all are kind of talking amongst yourselves, as you kind of look around, you are high above the clouds. Like, you can occasionally make out some land masses between clouds. It's just like forests and open plains. The occasional walled village, like with its own small landing pad for airships and such. But beyond that, things are... You do not see a lot of civilization. It's just like small pockets of forts and fortresses and such. But as you keep going, the landmass starts to slowly turn from grass. It slowly turns from grass plains and mountains to, or grass plains and forests to mountains. And as you cross that line into the mountain ranges, Eden, your backpack starts glowing.
Oh no!
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Oh no!
I look at it and I say, can you please dim your light?
You do not hear a response, but you do feel a warmth coming out of the bag. A warmth that basically, you can't really explain it, but it feels calming. Like because you're all so high up and you've crossed over into the mountains, it's like the overall tension in the air has gone down a bit, and the orb feels it, and that's why it's reacting like this.
can I like not suspiciously talk to the bag and be like, "You like it up high?"
There's just a small moment of silence, and then Eden is the only one who hears this in her head. You hear, Wendy.
I mean,
Cute here.
What?
I know, but it's so
Are
cute.
you trying to make it cute?
Did that owlbear just say Wendy's?
No, you didn't hear it. Only Eden did.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. I'm gonna like still having it wrapped up. I'm kind of gonna take it out of the backpack and like hide it between myself and the backpack so it can feel it a little bit more.
Okay.
I go and I sit down next to Eden, and I say, really quietly, ask it what it wants us to call it.
I'll ask that question. Be like, do you have a name that you would like us to call you?
There is a long stretch of silence, and you can actually feel you can actually sense coming off of the orb what feels like very faint anxiety and very slight frustration.
Oh no!
And you just kind of hear in your heads, "Tur, tur, tur. Don't know."
My heart.
It feels like.
Do you talk to the orb some more?
My phone, I apologize.
Would you like some help with that?
It looks like you're trying to talk to a god. Would you like some help with that?
I mean, always, but. Shit. Okay. I'm assuming Davina heard it too. That frustration.
Yeah, didn't you say both of us do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
I tried talking to this thing before and it wasn't giving me anything, so.
It can read your energy. No kidding.
It's okay if you don't know your name. We'll figure it out together.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you kind of give it that reassurance, you feel just this huge, very nice warmth coming out of the orb, just directly.
It's hugging us from the inside.
Oh! and
This orb's gonna make you cry, guys.
this warmth actually kind of emanates, so Polo and Yip and Sterling and Mistral feel it too.
Aw.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Crab?
Come on!
Do I have to pee? What is that?
And see, that right there is why when you try to talk to it, it doesn't answer you.
If we were socially allowed to, we would talk to you.
So do you guys continue talking with the orb? Do you have any other like little questions to figure out?
I
Nothing.
want to ask it something, but I feel like there's gonna be a bad things that happen if I do, so I keep my question to myself.
And obviously this thing doesn't really know anything that could help us right now, so I'm not gonna bother.
Well, since it's a new god, it'll know small things, I'm assuming, right? Like, not eons of shit.
It doesn't even know its own name.
Well, I know, but I mean, like,
Just as
you
far as
know,
anyone
like,
knows.
it has the knowledge, but that's it.
Mistral,
It said tur.
Mistral
I have
comes
the-
out of the bathroom wondering, are you guys talking to someone?
No.
That warm sensation I just felt.
Again, once again.
Was that the really, really good, just when you go to the bathroom and it just
Take a weird turn.
Oh my god! Stay
I,
on fucking
So
mirror.
we feel the warmth and everything. Does it seem like we can communicate with this orb if we're not touching it right now?
You can certainly try to.
Okay. Out loud, I'll actually again Celestial. Try speaking your name in angelic tongue.
Wait. Do I hear that?
You would understand it.
Do you know Celestial?
Yeah, obviously.
Remember, because I was trying to speak to her in Celestial.
Okay, so wait, so Sterling, you know Celestial?
I know Celestial and Infernal.
Okay, so you actually know Celestial. And Davina, you know Celestial, or are you just kind of... Okay.
I do know Celestial. My race, which I'm not gonna say yet, because not a lot of people know it unless you watch the 2 other episodes, goes with that.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew Celestial or if you were being taught Celestial by Eden.
No.
It would have been the flipped, remember?
Oh.
No, Eden, like, barely knows it, apparently. And Davina's known it her entire life.
Okay, so you're gonna try and ask its name in Celestial?
Well, no, I'm gonna say try speaking your name in in angelic tongue.
There is a moment of a pause, and then you just hear Celestial.
And I just really quietly say, do you want to learn?
At that moment, the orb, the glow of the orb gets a little brighter, and you actually feel like a little bit of excitement coming out of it. In fact, wait, who's holding the orb right now?
Yes.
You're feeling the orb, like, vibrate a little bit.
Oh, the small being in this thing is very excited.
Aw, I'll teach you.
You're gonna teach the baby god how to read.
Yeah.
I mean, heard about it.
And then I look at Sterling. Did you want to help?
Help with what? I'm saying. I'm talking back in common.
With teaching him how to talk or read and write in Celestial and possibly Common.
Oh no. That actually sounds really boring. If you need help doing it, I'll help you.
Oh, I need so much help learning the language of my childhood. Please, by all means, teach me your ways.
Oh, you have to with the parents too?
Eden's just like, yeah, teach the orb how to, and she's like grabbing a note, trying to take notes as you're
Well,
teaching.
I was gonna say he's gonna be like he knows Davina a little bit better. Like, do you also mind teaching me?
Of course.
Hey.
I'm gonna teach everybody lessons. And I look at Sterling and I say in Celestial, you motherfucker.
I say back in Infernal, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
I don't realize that language.
No, I wouldn't say you motherfucker, but I would like kind of curse at the ground and I say, I'm gonna go do something more interesting, and you guys are gonna see me like, or like get a rope out and tie it to the. Are we still on the deck? I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're all on the deck.
Okay. I'm gonna take a rope and I'm gonna like start tying it to the side, like one of the bearings on the side or something, like a band. And I'll let you guys go back doing what you're doing, and then we'll come. I say I'm Infernal. I'm gonna go do something more fun.
I have a really funny thing, but I wanted to know if I can do this because I don't know the logistics of it. Do I remember everything from my drug trip?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Just straight up no.
I was gonna call him a hamster-eating motherfucker, but never mind.
Hamster eater.
Well, I was gonna say, if Sterling's talking in Infernal, I'll be like, you do realize that you have 2 other people that can understand you, right? all
Wait.
in Infernal.
Eden, what did he say?
I tell her what he said.
He called you a motherfucker.
Fucking
Oh
rude.
my.
Meanwhile, as you guys are bickering to yourselves, old Joe just kind of sticks his head out of his cockpit and goes like, "You guys better get ready. We're getting close to Acheron, and what are you guys doing over there?"
Nothing.
he
No,
can-
I immediately step in front of Eden in the back. It's
gonna-
nothing.
Yeah, the glow goes away.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And he just kind of goes, "All right. Well, better get ready. We're getting close
No,
to Acheron."
Now, Harry, why do you have 5 barrels of hydrochloric acid? This is a Wendy's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's drive-through.
As you guys continue like weaving between many different sharp, jagged mountains, you pass by one, and that's when you see an absolutely massive, almost like part medieval, part slightly steampunk city before you that's been basically carved out of the entire top of this mountain. And you see airships just going in and out everywhere. And this is Acheron, which is the central seat of power in all of the explored territory of this continent. Like, anything that happens here. Old Joe just kind of steers over to one of the smaller landing pads. Gently sets her down with like a small little like lurch right there. And then he just kind of like gets out of his cockpit, stretches his back a bit, smiles at all of you, and goes like, "All right now, kids, you kids don't waste time doing your tasks now, but let me know if you need another ride." And with that, he just kind of retreats below deck.
I love him.
Welcome,
He's right.
welcome to the capital city of Acheron.
Guys, we've made it.
Now, this place is massive, because this place, again, has been built out the entire top of a mountain itself. Polo, remember, you are the one who has the map, but you have yet to actually unfurl it and look at it.
Well, I guess I could do that right now. I mean,
Okay, you do that. Okay, so if you'll give me just a moment. Okay, so to just give you like a rough idea about how massive this place is, it's about half the size in terms of diameter, for lack of a better word. It's about half the size of Manhattan Island. Like, it is
very cool.
It is a big place, and it's just a combo of medieval, steampunk. It is a booming metropolis here. And it's also the most high-class place you have ever seen. Everyone here dresses so much nicer. Even like the laborers here dress definitely nicer than you guys. Yes, Carly.
Going from my background, DM, would I have been here before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, well, actually, no, that's a lie. You have been here before, but only once before.
Gotcha. Okay.
What about me, Mr. DM?
Considering the background that you've given me, you, however, have been here quite a lot.
Great, that's what I thought.
I'll shoot. What about me?
Oh.
You? No.
No.
Like,
What about you?
What about me,
I
Mr.
guess let's
DM?
go around.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
As
to
a far
cause-
traveler.
okay, only Davina and Mistral have ever, like, been here before. Davina just once, and Mistral, like, many times.
But the rest of us
Davina gets off the thing, and she's like, and then just starts walking.
Yip, what did you say?
would the rest of us like know about Acheron, like heard stories
Oh
about
yeah, absolutely. Acheron is talked about like everywhere because it's the seat of power. It's the safest of all of the settlements in this territory because not only it's way high up in the mountains where no creature can get at, and even if some creature did, or like a flying creature was able to, this thing has got defenses up the ass. So like there's literally no safer place to be than Acheron in this campaign right now.
You know, if pop culture's told me anything, the safest place is never the safest place.
So with that being said, Polo, you pull out your map. This place is huge, and according to what the map looks like, you guys are on a landing pad, which is like on the southeastmost edge of the city. The apothecary is towards the center of the city, and at the very center of the city itself is like the actual Capitol building, where not just the government is, but also where the Greyblade headquarters is. And that's where Tarek told you all to stop by at as well after the apothecary.
Yeah.
As long as the orb manages to stay hidden, I don't see a problem with going to the apothecary first.
Okay.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do.
It's in my backpack again.
Okay, so you guys venture through the city. As you do, this place is hopping. Like, all the stores have very high-class items. Not a lot of armor, though. A lot of it is just, like, fashion and such. In fact, as you look around, aside from the actual city guards, no one here is really all that armed. Like, kind of imagine that this place has a fashion sense closer to, like Milan. I was thinking like France, like a century ago. Well, is there a difference between Milan and French?
Well, yeah, but it's fine.
Then we're going with French then. So yeah, the people here are very high class. You kind of notice that a lot of them have like their turned up noses and such. Some of them don't even bother looking at you because you all are just like rugged, dirty adventurers that just came off of an airship from the outside. A lot of these people don't really even acknowledge you all that much.
I know based on my backstory, I already hate all these people.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
We're like
Polo, we are in the same boat there, bud.
Okay, so you guys continue walking. You're always checking the map like every once in a while just to make sure that you don't get lost. And that's when you actually do find Patty's Apothecary. And it's actually a very large, like, medicine shop in a side street. It's still a side street shop, but it's still actually very nice in there. Do you guys go in?
Yeah.
came all this way.
Oh, all right, awesome. As you do, you walk in the shop and you are just assaulted by like so many different smells and odors of chemicals, ammonia. There's like a whole lot of stuff in here right now.
Mistral's room.
Eden starts coughing.
Someone wanted to come into the closet.
Have you missed when I was holding my cat?
No,
Did you
I'm
sense
not.
anything-
I love her.
Did you
Wait,
sense anything from the orb? Like, does it react to the smells? Like, can it smell and react to such?
you can send the orb does seem to give off a feeling of curiosity, as if it's kind of looking around everywhere, but it's not glowing and it's not showing any kind of reaction, but it's just giving off that sensation right now.
Yeah.
As you all walk in, you see this you see the short little goblin who wears what looks like a very oversized white lab coat and just the biggest bottle glass glasses like ever. It makes his eyes look like 10 times as big. He just kind of like slides down a ladder nimbly, and then he just kind of goes like, "Huh! Who are you?"
We're from the Greyblades. Tarek sent us.
Ah, Tarek!
to-
How is
Yeah.
that old guy? He isn't dead yet?
No.
No,
But-
neither are we.
Ah, shame then. All right. So what can I help you with?
We have a vial of some substance. We're not sure what it is, but he told us to have you kind of inspect it to see if you could tell what it was.
Well, what is the substance? Where'd you get it?
Mistral?
I kind of like shove it at you so that I could still stand in the back, so that you threw it to him.
The goblin just kind of plucks the vial and just kind of looks at it. What is it?
It was from some creatures that we fought a little while back. We're
The
not quite sure what
moment
it is.
you say creatures, he like his eyes go wide. He rushes past you and he only goes up like up to your guys' knees. And he shuts the door, locks it, closes the blinds, and he just kind of like looks around for a moment. And like you can't even hear the outside anymore. I turned off the music. And he just goes, "You seriously got this from the wildlife out there?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
shh. Come with me into the back.
Ah.
And he just
Okay.
kind of hobbles there, his long white coat just kind of dragging on the floor.
Can I, while we're doing this, let me see if I've got something. Can I have my dagger in hand?
I'm sorry, you want a what?
Can I inside check him?
Cracking his dagger.
My dagger in hand right now, just in case something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, you can if you
Okay.
want. And who wanted to do an insight? Okay, Davina, give me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, I got 17 plus 1, so I got an 18.
Okay, this guy is legitimately afraid of what you bought him, but at the same time, he seems very determined to get you guys. Like he has something for you here, and he does want you to follow him. There's nothing nefarious going on.
Okay.
I still keep my dagger.
Okay, he takes you into the back of his shop where he closes more blinds. And then he flips over an empty chalkboard to reveal the other side, which is full of scratch drawings of like various animals and such. Some parchments that are like taped up there of like his own notes. And then he kind of like turns his attention to like this table where there's a bunch of like empty beakers and vials and such. And on that table is a larger glass bottle of the exact same liquid.
Gross. Insert John Mulaney quote.
Gross. Back to my hunch.
He just kind of looks around for a moment again before turning back to you guys. Okay, Tarek sent you? He sent you with this stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't you not recognize what it was a minute ago? Whatever.
Hey, I deal with a lot of different black stuff here, dude.
Okay, fair enough.
Like black tar heroin.
I've been...
Those bears.
He kind of gets up, he kind of walks up to you and kind of motions you all down to, like, kneel low because he's way shorter than all of you.
Davina gladly does.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Guess I have to, like,
And he just goes
kneel
like,
down.
I've been secretly tasked with the Grey Blades to find out just what this stuff is right now, and honestly, we haven't been able to figure out anything at all. It has a corrosive effect on any kind of biological matter that it comes in contact with. Any kind of living creature that it comes in contact with instantly gets corrupted. So far, like, any kind of, like, small insects I tried on instantly have tried to escape and attack me the moment they come into contact with this stuff.
Right.
We knew all that.
Patrick, how did you get a ginormous vial of this?
I've been slowly collecting it on my own time from all of the other divisions of the Grey Blades at other forts.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's
So-
other outposts out there, dude.
And they've been taking this stuff too. Why didn't Tarek mention that?
Probably wasn't important.
Communication's been pretty hectic lately. Mostly everyone's focus has been on trying to build up their numbers and such. We are, I hate to say it, big guys, but we're really not doing well. Honestly, a lot of people are actually starting to lose faith in the Grey Blades' efforts, and all they're voting for is to just, like pack up and move to higher tier cities and such. But of course, you can't do that without money. And unfortunately, not a lot of
Words.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Yeah, take
and
a breather.
unfortunately, not a lot of gold comes down from the mountain.
That's fair.
So yeah, I've been doing what
So you have no idea what any of this is.
we're still trying to figure it out. Like, did you guys learn anything about this stuff?
No, that's why we can't go.
It
Well,
sure is.
now hold on, Davina. Didn't you learn something when you came into contact with it?
Yes.
What did you learn? Would you like to share with the class?
I mean, she did.
I'll share it with him because I trust him because I did an inside check. It's divine, but it's shit. I mean, what did I learn?
You just learned that it was divine in nature.
Okay, good. That's what I thought it all was, but I wasn't sure. That it's divine. That
And
it has to be from some sort of aerial plane.
He kind of gives you like a weird look hearing that, but then he just kind of thinks about it, kind of looks at the vial, looks at the bigger bottle on his desk, and he just goes, "My word." Kind of quickly puts the vial down, kind of pours over a bunch of like scattered notes and such, and he's like, "That's the one thing I didn't consider. All this time I thought it was some kind of like disease or poison or something. It never occurred to me to think of that this actually came from another plane." That's very interesting. Okay, and he just kind of hops back down from his table, walks up to each of you. All right, guys, listen up. Did Tarek give you any other instructions that you had to do when you got here?
No, not here.
When you need him.
No, like general in the city, not here at the apothecary.
Oh, only to go to the
headquarters.
official headquarters and give them a scroll.
Right.
Oh, right. You guys are newbies then. Okay, awesome. All right, listen, guys. Fair warning. Whatever you do not talk about the wildlife while you're here. Do not talk about any corruption while you're here. As far as the people of this city are concerned, none of that shit's happening. Like, if you try to lead on that we are not only fighting for our lives, but are actually kind of losing right now, either one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to cause mass panic, because that news is being pushed down right now, or you're going to be locked up and called crazy. Uh-oh.
Oh, there he is.
They were killed off. Mr. Killed. An assassin.
You see? Just like that!
As they come back, I love you.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to continue my spiel until Izzy gets back.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
That sure is a pink-haired icon we see.
Ah.
Izzy, you okay?
Did you just get disconnected?
Yeah, my internet, like once a day, it'll shut down for like a minute and then go back.
Oh, that
it doesn't make sense.
Big
Anyways,
red.
you were saying.
Okay, don't talk about the corruption. Don't talk about the murderous wildlife. These people are living in willful ignorance right now. So if you mention it, you're either going to cause panic or you're going to get locked up. The people of this city are working hard to keep that news on the down low. As far as I know, no one else knows that I'm experimenting with this stuff. Only some of the Greyblade sectors deep on the ground know that I'm doing this, because they trust me, and I trust them to actually survive. And unfortunately, my trust isn't doing that well. Neither are they. So listen, while you're here, don't talk about the corruption. As far as everyone else is concerned, you're all just peacekeepers, just maintaining order and keeping the wildlife at bay. No more, no less.
Well, of course.
Very well.
All right. Listen,
Okay.
I'll hold on to this file right here. What you've just told me might just be the key that we need to figure out just what this stuff is. That all being said, I'm not gonna keep you any longer. People might start to get suspicious why a whole bunch of hunters came in here and didn't come out. So why don't you all go to your headquarters, complete your tasks.
I guess I'll remove my vial of
Remove the
Aigu.
bottle.
Goodbye, vial. I worked so hard on that item. Goodbye.
Okay, and with that, old Patty just kind of starts to, like, shove you out the door. Which isn't really effective, because he's only, like, he goes up to your knees. He's very short.
Even for me, I'm probably the shortest one in the group.
Okay.
Actually, no, I guess Mistral is.
Probably. Even though Mistral is an elf, though, so aren't they pretty tall?
Oh yeah, those things are.
I believe I'm like 5, almost 6 feet.
Okay. So you're almost the same exact feet as Davina's, because she is 6 feet.
Yip is pretty short. He's 5 something.
Okay.
5'8".
I am the shortest.
I
of the
like
group,
how we're all
probably.
discussing
How
that.
short are you?
The shortest.
Okay, and with all
One.
that, you've all been
How
successful.
short are you?
What?
So
I want to know how short he is. How short are you?
How short is old Patty?
No, how short is Polo?
I'm 5'5".
Okay. That was important to me. I don't know why. I just needed to know.
priorities.
If we can continue,
Yeah.
you're all basically, like, literally shoved out the door back into the large alley where you entered the shop. And you're just kind of standing there, just a little kind of dumbfounded. Because, like, just as quickly as you went in there, you're back out again.
Like the what just happened? Kind of confused.
Well, I was hoping he would be able to give us some more information, but we ended up giving him more information. So
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Well, hopefully it's information that'll help us in the future.
Where should we bring?
I think next we should go to the official headquarters.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mistral takes this little hood that no one noticed and puts it over her head, like that.
Very nice.
Okay, so you all
And
head
just
to the
like-
headquarters?
Yes.
All right, you all continue down that path towards the very center of the city. When you finally do get to the center, the entire center of the city is a very wide open area. And you can kind of tell, like, how you're standing and where you're standing. This entire city is built in a circle design. And before you is this absolutely massive marble structure where you see a lot of similarly dressed hunters and warriors just going in and out. And they all have the same kind of style gear that you all have. And they all kind of look a little dirty and all grizzled and such. And this is obviously the headquarters. Now, the headquarters is to your right. Straight ahead of you is an even larger white and gold palace. And this is the main seat of government that handles, like, all of civilization in not just Acheron, but also handles the law and order in all of the tiny settlements outside of Acheron itself. And then to your left, you see almost in, like, a pure ivory is basically this massive church. And you see all of these multicolored, like, differently robed monks going in and out. And I say monks like friars, like church monks, not like punchy monks.
Not like me, monk, but also.
Yeah, these are like friar monks.
Friar Tuck.
And you do kind of recall, like, someone mentioning, like, if you wanted to know more about gods and such, that's the place to definitely go to as well. But yeah, your first mission is to definitely go to the headquarters. So do you decide to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all enter the headquarters, and it is just this. The lobby itself is just massive, open with marble pillars. It's kind of like a Parthenon kind of Greek structure, somewhat. there's hunters and warriors everywhere, just kind of conversing with each other, like arm wrestling. They're training new recruits. They're talking to old recruits. So you can actually see a couple families being told like the husband isn't gonna come home from a battle or something like that. It's like you see all manner of situations here. And as you walk up, you come to this large marble table where you see a bunch of halflings, a bunch of hobbits, just kind of like running around, like filing paperwork and making sure everyone gets like the right spot. And they're told to like, all right, you go to floor 3, you go to floor 2. And then this one halfling just kind of turns to you guys and goes like, well, come on, tell me, what do you want? Tell me.
Do I give him the scroll?
Yes, you do give him the scroll. Do you
I
want...
give him the scroll.
Okay, he kind of plucks it out of your hands and he just kind of goes at this. Quickly slams it on the table, takes a stamp, stamp. And he goes like, take it to the red table up the stairs. Next.
All right.
Well, then,
Okay.
I can see with efficiency.
All right.
Okay. Team is heading up the stairs.
Yep.
And you actually do see, to kind of help things along, he said go to the red table. Painted on the floor is like this long red line. You follow the line, and you actually come to this large room that already has like large wooden double doors open, and you actually see a lot of other recruits in there because they all seem to have like similar simple starter gear on their person as well. And a lot of them are just kind of like milling about doing their own thing. But then as you walk into the room, this young girl walks up to your team and just goes like, hello, are you guys new recruits?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
All right, registration, please.
Did he give us the registration forms?
Yeah, he handed it back to you after stamping it 3
Okay,
times.
yeah. So we give it back to her.
Well, most
Okay.
of us at least.
Okay,
I meant to.
Okay, she looks at it and she goes like, very good, follow me. And kind of walks to the back of the room where there's a table. She kind of walks to the other side of it. She kind of pulls some stuff out of drawers and such. And then she places on the drawer 6 little iron badges in the shape of tiny little broadswords. And she goes like, with these badges, you will be officially registered and marked as official Greyblade hunters. And with this, it comes with all of the amenities and privileges a hunter gives as well, giving you free access to the city as well as an official citizen of Acheron.
Oh wow.
It also says on this registration that you already completed a mission by... Ooh, Tarek, you had the pleasure of working with him. She then reaches down into the drawer and then she pulls out like a whole bag, and you hear jingling coming out of it, and it goes like, and here is a reward of 120 gold pieces. Split that up amongst you as you see fit.
Wait, so there's 6 of us, 120. Hold on.
If it's
20.
divided by 6, you get 20.
That's what I thought. Okay.
20. Everybody, we split it equally, of course, because we love each other. Great, I'm back at 50 gold. Look at.
I'm at 26.
Wait, so how many do I get?
20.
20.
Everyone gets 20 gold.
Fabulous.
And as you guys are sharing in this happiness, you actually do feel a wave of warmth and joy coming from the orb in Eden's pack.
Money!
Wait, that means the orb is
No,
a
it
cat.
was about money.
The orb is materialistic.
Just say, so the orb knows about money, but not much else.
Or
It's
the orc
kinda-
knows that the money, we appreciate the money. They can sense our appreciation.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what's
Yip
going on.
Kind of turns to the lady who just gave them the money. It's like, where might the restroom be?
The lady kind of thinks for a moment, and she just goes, "Oh, down the hall, first door to your right."
Thank you.
Oh, you actually have to go to the restroom. Okay.
I just love our
Okay.
bathroom exits. I
I was
love
gonna
our
say, Eden's
bathroom
gonna follow that cue too.
exits. Great.
Why don't we all take a break then?
Okay, we'll take a tiny little break, a little pee
All right.
break. When everyone comes back, we'll continue.
Cool.
Okay, great.
Alright.
Five minutes.
Because I have had to go for like an hour, but I was
Why did you say anything?
You
I
have
was
to make
waiting
a
for the
fancy
appropriate
bathroom
time.
break. Fancy bathroom exit. I'll be listening. I'm going to get water.
Okay. Yeah, potty break.
All we can do is take a deep breath and move forward. You'll be searching for the piece of
Whoa, whoa. To anyone who's watching this, I'm sticking around because I don't have to go to the bathroom. Thanks a lot, Hemington. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Aw, thanks a lot.
I have to return.
All right, so that's one, that's two.
Same.
Dude, I had to go so bad, but I was every time I have PTSD from the other campaign that we're in because every time I leave I die.
All right.
Okay, that's kind of mean that they kill you when you go to the bathroom.
Well, it's just always been in a bad moment. So it's oh, I got plenty of time. There are 6 people before me in a fight. I can go to the bathroom really quickly. No.
So I know my mom might have said something in chat.
That's 3.
Because I think she's kind of falling asleep listening to us.
Aww.
Aw.
Not boring. It's a really good story. I'm like, oh. Well. Also, hi, Mom. Even though I just talked to you 2 seconds ago.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, my mom.
Oh, hi.
Other moms.
My mom, probably will never be on Twitch.
Well, I just sent Mom the link so she can watch to see what.
She doesn't really understand what D&D is. I've tried to explain numerous times, and she's like, cool! Just being a supportive mom. I have no idea, but alright. Chill.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think I got my nerdness from Mom, and she can vouch for it. I think she would enjoy something like this.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
tell
mean,
her that all the time, because that's where I got all my nerdness from, too, but it's just oh no.
yeah, my mom Hemington actually did play D&D.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome!
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mom could probably answer this question. I don't know. I think D&D came out a little bit after she got into certain things, and
It's like
never picked
18
it up.
something.
79, I want to say.
Oh,
78.
no, that was in the 80s.
No, it's been around since the late 70s. It just got popular in the 80s.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that was the whole.
Yeah, because, like, Tolkien had a big resurgence in the late 70s, and that's where D&D came out of.
Yeah, and then.
Oh, speaking of 70s fantasy literature, I just finished the first entry of Gwyn Saga, which is, like, one of the most influential fantasy Japanese books.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
Yes, I highly recommend it. It actually influenced stuff like Berserk and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
With being dyslexic, I kind of need audiobooks so I can follow along. And be
Sure.
Like, okay.
I totally get that.
74. My mom just wrote 1974.
That's
So-
very cool.
But yeah. Yeah, because then also D&D had the whole satanic.
Out of
Scary.
Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah. Because
Because what
shenanigans.
do you have to do in Minnesota besides pretend you're fantasy creatures? So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things to do in Minnesota, but not. I say this as
Wait, I don't know the story.
Yeah, I think it started with people getting killed, and they blamed it on D&D because the kids were playing D&D.
Yeah, well, you look at the Jack Chick tracks and stuff like that, and how he wrote a lot of how, like, D&D was corrupting the youth. Although he also wrote that Chronicles of Narnia was bad for kids to read, even though it was literally written to be.
Based off the Bible.
Also,
It was
I
written
like to-
a very devout Christian man who used the Bible to create the fantasy world.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Izzy, what
Yeah.
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I wanted to chime in because I was laying on my bed at the moment you were talking about when D&D came out, and when you said the 80s, I immediately said, no, it was at least the 70s, and my girlfriend was like, what are you talking about? Because she can't hear anything. And the only reason why I'm
Queen's like,
saying
what the
that,
fuck is?
and the only reason why I was like, it had to be at least the 70s, because in that 70s show, they play D&D at some point when they're younger.
For real?
That's
Yeah.
right. Although it started in, it's set at the beginning of 1974. So.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
so
Like at
since
one point in the 70s. So yeah, so let's continue on our adventure.
okay, so we're all ready to go.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sterling, are you there?
Sterling?
Sterling the Fifth.
Sterling.
Oh, he unmuted himself. Yes, I missed
Mr. the
it.
Fifth?
Sterling Archer.
Oh.
He's here. He's here. He's here.
All right, so you officially got your rewards. You got paid. You are all now official Grey Blades.
I'm adding that to my notes.
With my longbow.
What are you all going to do now?
I'm going to Disney World. No.
Disney World.
I go up to the girl and I ask her, so what would you recommend we do next?
The girl thinks for a moment and kind of glances at the badge that is still in your hand. You haven't actually put it on yet, and she goes like, "Well, that is certainly up to you to decide. You can choose to start taking on requests that would send you out into the wilderness. You can go to one of the many outposts and act as bodyguards for all of the various peoples that live there. You can be bodyguards for the people here as well, or you can go out into large expeditions and just fight the good fight. It is ultimately up to you."
I want to ask the girl about the monks.
Sir, what would you like to know?
What exactly do they do?
The monks, or rather the priests of, well, that right there is specifically the Church of Nord, the god of order. The priests help give a semblance of stability to all of the people here. Not a lot of people know about the good fight that we are doing our best to win and to keep the people defended and such. Some people don't know, and the few people that do look for some semblance of peace. It is through the teachings of Nord that give us the determination to make sure that society itself just doesn't fall into chaos.
Do they do any religious studies?
Oh yes, very much so. I mean, that's pretty much all that they ever do. I mean, a lot of our Grey Blades are actually religious folk as well.
I have a question for you. Are you saying that this campaign it possibly has a chance to be sponsored by NordVPN? Use code Song of the Wind to.
I thought you had a legit question.
Make sure you use NordVPN so that way you have order and stability in keeping your security.
Well, the DM is now not messing with
We're in another country right now.
You have pissed off the DM.
Anyway, back to the campaign.
Never again.
Go for death.
Go up the rest of the group and tell them we have to deal with this orb now. That needs to be our priority.
Who do you say that to? Do you say that out loud?
I just try to huddle up the group and say that.
I was gonna say shh about it. You're saying it out
I
loud.
agree.
Well, what was the plan? We were going to give the orb to the monks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're-
Yeah, but like,
there was
keep it on the
specific-
DL.
But there was a specific, like, religious group that we were gonna give it to, I thought.
Okay. It's
So
been
what-
a week.
So what do you guys do?
I think we should give it to the monks. I think that's the wisest thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys head over to the church?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So all right, so you all leave the giant headquarters building of the Greyblades. You are now all official Greyblade hunters. You got your shiny little badges. You got like a sense of pride like your backs are a little straighter, your shoulders are broader. Like you're feeling good. You're feeling pumped. Yeah. You walk back out into the open air, and as you recall from the giant open space that is the center of town, the church is literally just across the way. So it's just a straight walk from the headquarters straight to the church. This is a huge common area, so you see hunters, priests, normal civilians in their very high-class clothing just walking around, getting to where they need to be. Just to reconfirm, you're all just going straight to the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so as you do, the church's entrance is just as open as, like, the Greyblade headquarters. There's no, like, actual doors that need to be opened. This is a massive, massive church. Think Notre Dame 3 times as big.
Pre-fire.
Pre-fire, yes. Pre-fire, obviously. So you head into the church.
The dark joke.
The fire there.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Yeah, pre-fire.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it.
You enter the church, and you see a lot of priests in white and gold robes kind of walking around, a lot of them conversing with each other, a lot of them, like, praying to various statues and such. You see a lot of different statues in this place that a lot of priests are speaking to, though the biggest one that you see is what looks like a huge bald man in angelic armor, and he has like a shield on his left side and a huge hammer in the other side. Yes, Carly.
I'm sorry. I sent you a message pertaining to a question that I had, but you can continue talking.
No.
Okay.
So is this a real person or is this a statue? The bald man.
Do you want to get a little closer look?
Sure.
Okay, as you get a closer look, give me a religion check.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Holy
While I
shit.
jumble my dice around.
23.
You see this statue, and you know that this is Nord himself, the very god of order that you've actually quite heard a lot about. And from what you know, he represents order, stability, conformity to a certain extent, especially to the people who have been known to take his teachings a little too seriously. But basically, he is the absolute opposite of anything that is chaotic. in the universe.
Is that
okay.
him or is that the statue of him?
This is the statue of Nord himself.
Gotcha. Okay.
I walk over to Eden and like try to like slightly whisper in his ear, saying, "Is the orb doing anything right now?"
Do I feel like anything from the orb? Like any nervousness?
Considering that you're not holding the orb right now and you're all preoccupied trying to stay focused in the scene, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Hang on, it rolled. I got a 15.
A 15. Okay. While it's definitely faint, you actually do feel slight nervousness coming from the orb. It could be, you can't really quite tell why it's feeling nervous. It could be just because from all the new surroundings around it. But yeah, the poor little guy's getting a little overwhelmed, it feels like.
Yeah, he's nervous. It's a little overwhelming.
At that moment, when you kind of acknowledge the orb, you hear footsteps behind you, and you see this elderly man in a long, like, black beard, and he's holding, like, a pope staff, and he just walks up to you and goes like, "Oh, is this something that I can help you children with?"
Is there?
Well, Polo, it was your idea ultimately to come here. You would know more.
Well, I mean, if we don't want to give him the orb, I mean, does somebody want to?
Can I do an insight check on this person just to get a feel?
You certainly can if you want to.
I would like to. I got a 5.
He seems pretty genuine and welcoming. Then again, it's kind of hard to get a read on him because this is literally your first meeting with him. So you can't really tell what this guy's deal is.
Yip kind of steps forward amongst the silence and says,
and then the moment you step forward, he goes like, "Oh, an Arakoa. Oh, it's been a while since we've been graced by the presence of one of your kind." And he actually gives like a little bow to you.
Wow.
Yip
Take it away.
bows back. Thank you, Father. We were quite wondering, do you happen, what, let me think of, I want to phrase it. The pantheon of gods, I know here is specifically Nord, but do you know more about the pantheon in the sense of if it would be possible for new additions to the pantheon, possible acceptance of a new god?
The father figure just kind of like gives you a very weird look, and he just kind of like looks over at a passing priest with a face that just goes like, "Is this guy up high or something?"
Oh god.
And he just kind of leans over and goes like, "Such a thing is impossible, my child. I mean, it was these gods that brought us to life. I mean, what? The gods are the gods. I'm not sure where you would get the idea that new gods can just come around."
Do you have any books that are available for us to read on gods?
Oh yes, in our special library. Would you like to see them?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Special library.
Okay. The head priest kind of turns around and he just starts hobbling over. As you guys go deeper into the church, Eden, that feeling of nervousness coming off of the orb actually starts to get a little stronger.
Oh,
I just
fantastic.
I'm not gonna follow.
What?
Oh
I'm not gonna follow. I just stopped, like, dead in my tracks.
You're not gonna
I
follow?
see he didn't do this, and I stop as well. And I said, "What's the matter?"
This orb is not. He's feeling very anxious, and it's not. I don't think it's a good idea right now.
Yip,
At that moment
He
when
wants possibly.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yip, as he kind of notices the two stop, he kind of like steps next to the father and begins speaking to him to kind of like stop him from noticing the two that stopped and kind of like keep him moving along.
Okay, make a deception check.
Deception? Okay. Deception, okay, +1. That is 17.
17. All right, you are able to successfully keep the Holy Father's attention on you as you continue to head over to the library. Meanwhile, back at the party that is remaining like closer to the entrance, the orb's anxiety is actually slowly starting to get a little worse.
I leave. Like I
Do
turn
you
around.
want to take him outside?
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Immediately the plan of like turning around. And
Yeah.
I leave the building. Like.
I leave with her.
Are
Okay.
we're splitting up?
Yeah, I'm picking up on the priest.
Okay, so wait, who's leaving the church right now? Eden and Davina. And who is following the priest? Okay, so the other 4. Oh,
I'm presuming Sterling's raising his hand.
Sterling, are you raising your hand?
Sterling, you have to contribute.
Contribute.
Sterling, why do you keep yourself on mute?
Adding the fifth.
Sterling!
I don't think he's paying attention.
It's time to wake up, Sterling.
Hello, hello.
It's so funny if we just fell
The
asleep.
orb is having a panic attack, Sterling. You need to wake up.
All
Okay.
right, well, we leave.
Okay, so Davina and Eden
We
successfully...
carry Sterling's body to the library.
He's on autopilot.
Okay, yeah, so Davina and Eden successfully, like, walk out of the church entrance. And you're kind of back out into that open area. The orb does get a little calmer, but it's still very, like, nervous.
I bend down and I like look around to see if there's anybody and I just say, "What's wrong?"
The orb doesn't respond, but apparently, you do sense something else. Davina and Eden, I would like you both to give me perception checks.
God, no. Okay.
My perception is shit. That's not bad.
Let me look at it.
I got 16.
Oh.
My perception was an 18.
Okay, awesome.
Yours
For a
is-
split second, while you can't quite place it, you feel that you both are being watched right now. But when you look behind you, like any kind of priests that you see are kind of doing their own thing. So you don't know where this watching presence is coming from.
Party.
Meanwhile, the other 4, the head father has successfully led you into the library, and he actually seems kind of happy to take you here. Like, he's got a little skip to his step despite, like, holding on to his pope staff for dear life.
Nobody ever wants to read anymore. It's all about their new.
It's all about your rap
That's how he's
music and
walking.
such.
I love it. It's so cute.
As you walk into the library, the Holy Father kind of turns back to you and he goes like, "What did you specifically want to know about our gods?"
Just the different kinds. Is there some sort of encyclopedia that we can read about, like, all of them? Or just most of them, at least?
Different kinds? You don't need a book for that. That should be common knowledge. Yeah, I can tell you with that. You have Nord. He's the god of order. He represents all things that are meant to be stable and civil in our society. You have Kram, the god of steel. He oversees the making of all our steelworks, our architecture. He oversees any kind of physical thing we have made. You have Varus, the god of war.
Is I want to stop you right there. Are there any that have any animalistic connections?
Oh, certainly not. All of our gods are the pinnacle of society. He actually seems a little offended that you would say such a thing.
None of them. None even connected to nature.
None whatsoever. He actually kind of spits on the ground a bit. Nature is such a cursed thing right now. We must rise above it.
Do you know anything of gods that turn into green orbs?
At the mention of
You're
green,
right out there and saying it, aren't you?
at the mention of
Whoa,
green
what?
orbs, he just kind of narrows his eyes at you a little bit inquisitively, like, and he just goes like, "Whatever do you mean, child?"
Just a transmutation. Or...
Father, he was dropped as a child.
Oh, you're going with that one. The father just kind of thinks for a moment. And he goes like, "No, all of our gods are not really known to change shape. They have no reason to change shape. Why would our gods lie about themselves and their own forms? I mean, they're our gods. We have more reason to lie to them than they have to lie to us."
Well, very well then. I've learned all I need to know.
Just a moment, young child. This green orb that you mentioned, it just seems so specific.
Oh,
Like, what brought this on?
I don't know.
and
I have not had much interest in religion. Maybe I was just looking for something that would interest me.
Ah, well, to each their own. If Nord doesn't fit your fancy, we do have other gods. All our gods that do oversee everything here. By the way, I noticed that you are new recruit Greyblades. I must say, a hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Although I must ask, and by the way, I would like to. He then kind of notices as he kind of looks at you all. He goes like, "Oh dear, either my eyes are failing me, but weren't there two others of yours?"
No, there's always been only 4.
Make a deception roll.
I'm feeling lucky.
They had some air!
18.
Yeah.
Mhm.
18.
18. All right.
well played.
The priest kind of looks a little confused a moment, then he just kind of like scratches his head, and he just goes like, "Oh, wow, my age is really catching up on me. Ah, well, it's not a problem at all. Here, if you have no business here, let me escort you out."
Thank you.
And then he just kind of like, he hobbles with his staff, as he ventures you out of the library, down the halls, back towards the entrance, and he goes like, "I must say, it is very nice to see new faces come here, fight the good fight. I'm sure you've been told by your superiors that news of this has to be kept, like, very hush-hush. We must keep the peace."
Yes, of course.
I am glad to find somebody that I may confide my struggles with.
Oh, and it is very nice to have an Arakoa in our presence. I mean, your kind is always such a blessing. I must say, take care, and he just kind of stops talking for a moment.
Oh.
And then he just kind of like, he slowly turns around, and he looks up at the statue. And at that moment, any kind of chanting and prayer and any kind of like organ playing in this church just stops. All the priests just kind of stand where they are. And then the head priest just kind of slowly turns to you. But he doesn't look directly at you. He's looking past you. Because
towards the entrance where me and Eden are.
Yeah, and he can actually kind of see past you towards Eden and Davina, but he's not looking directly at Eden. And he just
He's looking at the bag.
And he's scowling a bit, and he just goes like, "What is that you have there?"
It's emerald.
Nothing.
Make a deception check.
Dad, Tony.
I don't want to play. I don't know if I can do that morally.
Oh shit! Hang on.
What you get? What you get?
Well, let's see. I want to make sure I've got this all. I got a 20.
That's funny, I'm assuming.
Dirty 20.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Still good.
The DC on that was 20.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay, so the Holy Father just kind of looks confused for a moment.
Polo just won the
And he-
day.
And he actually looks like he believes you. However, that's when all of the other priests slowly turn their heads. And then the Holy Father just kind of blinks and goes like, "Wait, but isn't it a jewel?" And you see him turn and talk. He's talking to the statue.
Okay.
Takes off a bit and flies towards Eden, and it's like, "Give me the orb. Give me the orb."
I'm
confused about where we are in relation to one another.
You guys are like in the doorway of the church where the statue is.
Okay, so he's leading us into the church.
What?
He's looking at like.
Okay.
Yeah, the Holy Father, like, as he's facing the statue, his back is to the doorway towards everyone.
Okay, so the statue we saw before is the one he was talking to.
I'm sorry?
The statue we saw before was the one he was talking to.
That is correct.
Okay, alright, I'm starting to...
And
Why don't you just give Yip the orb? He can fly.
Yeah, but if he
I can fly faster than you guys. I have a fly speed of 60.
the moment that he asks that question to the statue, that's when you all feel this chill in the air, and you feel this absolute terror come from the orb, and all of you just hear in your heads, "Run!"
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
running.
and that is when you hear a second voice coming from the statue. Its eyes glow white, and then you just hear, like, echoing everywhere, "Usurpers." And we're gonna end it there tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think
I can't believe we managed to get 20 on that.
You rolled a 20, so you were able to fool the Holy Father, but you didn't fool God himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's where we're gonna end it right there.
Oh my god.
I'm going to make a note at the start of it. Fly over Eden, just be like, "Pass the bag, pass the bag, pass the bag."
Pass the bag.
Jesus Christ.
Sterling, are you still there?
Did he
I
fall
think he's
asleep?
gone, fam.
Yes, the usurper!
Yeah.
Hold on a moment.
He just cut out.
Sterling just kind of stands there, listening.
That is so
Damn it.
odd.
I made a note. So I remember to like take off and give the bag to Yip.
Okay, next
I'm
week, attacked by a fleet of ninja monks.
I'm
Carly, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
I'm half tempted to draw some of these scenes out of boredom.
Do it.
Okay, so yeah, that ends episode 3.
Alright.
Oh my god, guys.
How many episodes are you projecting of this, anyway?
As many as there need to be.
47 to be exact.
You can't be leaving me on, like, I don't care if you leave the audience on a cliffhanger, like, you can't be leaving me on a cliffhanger like that.
I know, man.
Oh, there's more to come.
Here's to our third episode.
Same Owlbear time, same Owlbear channel.
The poor Alvin. I think we should do these every Sunday at 7:30.
Well, because everyone's schedule changes, so it still makes sense to do the when
It's
to
just
meet
been
every time.
pretty consistent that we've been at Sunday.
Yeah, but I always like to be
do it.
I always like to be sure,
Yeah.
just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, it's like 100%.
Never say I'm
Hopefully,
sorry.
So
Maybe
with-
not the next session, but the session after, I'll have better internet. Where I don't disappear.
Let's hope.
All right, then. So with that said, thank you all for joining. And for those watching the stream, thank you so much. We hope you all had a good time. We'll see you later.